It's time for an inside look at the most powerful motorsport on the planet. WFO Radio, NHRA Nitro.
It's the most exciting sport on earth as far as I'm concerned.
Take a walk through the Nitro pits as we go one-on-one with the stars of drag racing.
Hi, I'm Courtney Forrest.
I'm Tony Schumacher.
Hey, you're with Matt Hagan.
This is Ron Capps, Matt Hagan's personal friend. You're on WFO.
Featuring the NHRA's Alan Reinhart.
Our events are truly an experience. They're not just a spectator event. They are an experience.
So get in, sit down, and hold on with host Joe Costello as he goes WFO.
Thanks, brother. Always love being on WFO, baby. Nobody brings it to you better than you, brother.
Now crank it up. It's time to go WFO. Here's your host, Joe Costello.
What's up, NHRA fans? Welcome back to WFO Radio NHRA Nitro. Following the Auto Club Finals and Awards ceremonies, I was there at the track, on the scene, at the place. It was great. You're going to hear audio from on location at Auto Club Raceway. Just great stuff. Whole lot of fun was had. History was made. Steve Torrence, the perfect countdown. Oh, we're going to talk a lot about that. We got to go pull the audio during the holiday break, during the winter break. We have been on that story, the perfect countdown, from race win 1 or 2 for Steve Torrence. Patting myself on the back a little bit. Those guys had what it took. They did something impossible, and now it is possible. Something for everybody else to shoot for. Steve Torrence, J.R. Todd, Tanner Gray, Matt Smith, all drivers who won the race, who went on to win the championship. And let me tell you, character guys like swag. They got attitude. Whole lot of fun. We had fun at the banquet. It was great stuff. We'll talk about that throughout the winter break. And before I go any further, I want you guys to know this. WFO continues through the winter break. And I know a lot of people, they want to break. They want to break for themselves. And of course, I do too. But I can get together once a week and put together NHRA Nitro. And I can get together once a week and put together WFO Ignition for your entertainment. So if you're looking for a little fun, it will be here. It will be here. I know you guys are all going to be very busy as well, getting holiday gifts from our great sponsors like Rodak's Coffee and Grills.com. Marvin Rodak got those holiday packs, bag of coffee, hot sauce, spice rub. Give Marvin a call. Go to the website, Rodak's Coffee and Grills.com. CatSpotLitter.com, maybe not the best Christmas gift, but I think Magic Dry is for the shop, for the home. CatSpotLitter.com for the kiddies. Check it out. Scott Palmer. Wow. Ran his career best this past weekend. Scott Palmer, great job. CatSpotLitter.com. Stepping up to support WFO Radio. HusseyPerformance.net. Copper head gaskets, the best in the business. Champs on the side of Sean Bellamere's machine. Hussey Performance, David Allen, all made in America. Check them out, HusseyPerformance.net. Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure. That's the one, baby. That's the one. Send your friends and family and loved ones and great clients and important people. Get them the gift of speed. Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure. Samtech.edu, the School of Automotive Machinists and Technology. Leah Pritchett, Samtech Factory Stock Showdown champion. Brian Massengill, out there at the awards banquet, wearing the red tux. Great stuff. Good times. Future, you can become a CNC machinist. You can become a high-performance engine builder. Samtech.edu. Motorsportsguys.com. Terry McMillan. Parts, pieces, motor oil, your oil change, your filter. You get it all in one spot. Comes right to your door. Motorsportsguys.com. Aerospacecomponents.com. Kim Cussey and her team. Brakes, shifters, vacuum pumps, anything made out of billet should be on your car. Aerospacecomponents.com. Hangstafers Laboratories and Hangstafers Metalworking Lubricants. We are getting ready for the big PRI trade show. They're going to be there. Antron's going to be in the booth. Tommy Johnson's going to be in the booth. Matt Sackman and Zach Sackman are going to be in the booth. Get on down there. PRI will give you the booth numbers and come by and hang out. And, of course, audible.com/WFO Nitro. Start your 30-day free trial. All right. Final results edition of the season. Joining us now, he is the voice of the NHRA. He called the action all season long, including the Auto Club Finals and the crowning of champions. Alan Reinhart back with us. And we've got a lot to talk about, Alan. We are back home. People are going to hear audio from the Winner's Circle celebration, but I think you and I can channel that energy that we just experienced over the last several days.
Oh, say it ain't so, Joe. So what do you mean I don't have a race to go to next weekend? It can't be over yet. Give me one more or two more before we end the season.
Well, it's not over yet, just yet, because knowing you will find another race to go and call somewhere. It's not over yet.
I'm just not ready to put away my national event clothes for the year. Surely we can, let's just have a redo. That'd be good, a redo.
A redo or a bonus stage that they have all qualified, like the champions have all qualified for a bonus stage. They get to race each other with a slight handicap.
I'll be all right with that.
There you go.
Now, having said that, 85 days from right now when we're recording this, we're going to be doing burnouts in Pomona, and we'll all be looking at each other going, weren't we just here? But it was a heck of a year, no question about it.
Really was. The champions, the stories. There's a lot out there to talk about, and I do want to delve into each of the champions. I think they're going to be great for the sport. Tanner moving on to NASCAR, still going to be representing NHRA as he goes over there, though, because this is something they'll never take away. But I do want to start off with the passing of Jed Compton from Brainerd International Raceway, someone who has welcomed the NHRA family into his home, BIR for many years. We got to know him a little bit. And passing away in a boating accident on November 11th. I think that shocked everybody, and just a very sad story.
It certainly is. I posted on Twitter that, I don't think anybody had more of a zest for life than he did. Loved experiencing new things. Absolutely loved the racetrack up at Brainerd. The commitment that he made up there, both personal and financial, to make sure that the folks in Minnesota had a great place to race, and not just a drag strip, but he was very proud of the road course as well, and some of the other events that took place up there. He just lived life wide open all the time. It's certainly not going to be the same going back to Brainerd without him. And I just wish all the best for Christy and the kids and everybody as they try to get through. It's got to be an obviously difficult time.
And it just goes to show you, and at any moment you have to. He's a wide open guy, and he was, and you have to live life and enjoy it, because you never know when it's going to end. You could be very successful. You could have he set up like the perfect life for himself from my outside observations with the racetrack and the houses, and wanted to be there and be able to go, bombing around BIR whenever he wanted, and just such a cool thing going. He's out there on a boat, and next thing you know, he's not with us anymore.
Yeah, and for anybody that didn't know him, I mean, even at the Nationals, he was still the guy in a shorts and a T-shirt, hanging out in the zoo and being one of the fans. I think there were a number of people that probably had some kind of interaction or cross paths with him that had no idea he was the owner, because that's not the way he acted. He acted like he was just a big fan, and that's really what he was. It was his idea or his execution or all of the above last year when they had a jet car in the zoo to light the fire at Camp Pallet. I mean, who does that as a track owner? Jed does, because he thought it would be cool, and he knew that all of his fans would love that and enjoy that, so he just made it happen. And he loved his fans as much as any track owner out there. And as I said, it's because he was one of them. He was a fan who ended up owning a racetrack, certainly not a corporate guy that was just there to make the money. He was there to have fun and to enjoy and to make sure that all of his customers had a good time as well. He will certainly be missed.
Yes. Rest in peace, Jed. And Alan, another very well-known personality in NHRA drag racing, Alan Johnson, unfortunately lost his father right after the event. It's like a wave of unfortunate news for the NHRA community.
It certainly was. Everett Johnson, who, if you knew him, he was Paul. And he was such a big part of his son's racing team when they were getting started. You go back into the early 90s when Blaine and Alan Johnson were winning alcohol races and championships, and he was the one that drove the truck race to race, and he also pitched in and helped out. And he was another guy that, once the car was put away, didn't mind having a couple of beers and having a good time at the end of the day. He had been in failing health recently and passed away Monday morning after the finals. So, just obviously a very difficult time for the Johnson family. But if you knew Pa, he was a great guy. And like I said, if you knew him, he was Pa. So a very difficult time for the Johnson family as they deal with this. But hopefully he's spending time and, finally got a chance to say hi to Blaine again. I hope he tells Blaine how much we all miss him.
Oh, my goodness, Alan. It's just That is just so sad. It's unfortunate. It is sad. I got to spend a little time with Alan at the track after it was all over. People were celebrating championships. They were hanging out there, and just hours later finding out such terrible news. That is very sad. You know, I did not meet him, but I was a fan of Alan and Blaine as they came up. And your final point right there, like perhaps, and I certainly hope and believe that they are able to reunite. Just tough stuff.
You're exactly right. But, you know, Everett lived a long and wonderful and full life. It's just, you know, I hope I have as much fun, last as long as he did, before I have to exit, because he certainly got all of it while he was here.
Well, I like to think that the people that we pay tribute to for a moment or two here on the show would want us to talk NHRA drag racing. That's the way I think about it, and I'm pretty confident, and so we will move forward. But, yeah, tough stuff here at the on this edition of NHRA Nitro. Just when the family is in pain, it's kind of tough to continue on and have a good time. But we will, because we did have a great season. We had 4 champions who also went on to win the final race.
Crazy. That never happened before in the history of NHRA. But, you know, you could just see it playing out throughout the course of the day. You know, Matt Smith had absolutely positively the best motorcycle there. I spoke to him in the winter circle and told him that, you know, kind of like deja vu back in the days when Dave Schultz or John Myers, you know, there was the one dominant bike and everybody else was chasing, and we haven't seen that in a long time, even for a day. But that's certainly what Matt did to him. And, you know, Tanner Gray was driving unconscious, and he set out on a mission and obviously accomplished it. J.R. Todd, they had the championship locked up in the first round. When Robert Height's team smoked the tires and they got defeated, it was over. You know, at that point, they could have rolled the car in the trailer and started celebrating, but now they were on a mission to close the deal. And obviously, we all know what Steve Torrance's mission was. When he started to count down to the championship, the singular focus was, let's win it this year. Last year, we got it, let it get away. And then once they had that in the bag, they changed the focus to let's make history now and do something nobody's ever done. And I'm a big believer that, you know, the last thing you see is what you remember. And the last thing the fans saw was 3.702 to 3.700, both cars over 330 miles an hour, and Steve Torrance making history. That was, you know, just a chill bump moment in Auto Club Finals history.
Oh, really, it was. And this accomplishment, the perfect countdown, first of all, taking nothing away for what JR did and their huge moments, and they had a great dominant countdown as well, and we'll focus in on all of them, but there is just something that is different from the others, and it is perfection. And I am going to basically, my opinion is that this is the greatest single team accomplishment we've seen in NHRA drag racing. And I'm going to make the argument, and I know some people will, you know, go against it, and it'll be a fun talking point and a little fun debate to have for the next several years until the next team tries to make a run at this. But this is now something for everyone to shoot for. Every team that makes the countdown, they now have something that really, a couple of weeks ago, this was probably considered impossible. Now, yeah, you can't sweep the countdown. Come on, everybody's at their best. You can't win 24 straight rounds, can you? Yes, you can. And they did it. Just amazing.
Well, I told Steve that in the winter circle when I interviewed him up on stage. I said, you realize what you just did is impossible. And, you know, he was, you know, kind of just absorbing the moment. And he said, yeah, but, you know, everybody on the team was very focused, was very driven. They all wanted to make sure that this didn't slip away, including Steve, who in the final round has an 0.29 reaction time. I mean, come on, really? But they did it. And, you know, I have a tough time comparing eras, you know, as far as greatest ever. In the countdown era, I think I agree with you. I think that's the greatest feat that we've ever seen. But I think, you know, you can go back in time, and I was there the year that John Force, before the countdown era started, was crowned champion at Indy, because he had been so dominant in the first part of the season that literally he could have skipped the last 5 races of the year at the time, and they still couldn't catch him. So as far as most dominant ever, it's just, you know, it's tough comparing Hank Aaron to Babe Ruth. They were just played in such different eras. But in the countdown era, I think that is absolutely the most impressive thing I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. Well, absolutely. And you know, like, that's the whole point of it. Let's dig in and we'll think about it and all of that stuff. But it didn't come easy. In fact, you know, as number 2 qualifier, Steve had to run Cameron for a first round. But the second round, Billy Torrance, his dad, was going for him. And we're at the top end of the racetrack, and a little conversation broke out about Billy laying over for Steve. And I said, I don't think he's going to do it. And people questioned me. They were like, well, why is that? And I go, wouldn't it be the coolest thing to be the guy, the only person who beat Steve and be his dad and have that on him forever? Yeah, son, you might have won the championship, but remember who the only person was who'd have beat you. And sure enough, that was on Billy's mind. Billy didn't want him talking smack at Christmas. Billy went after him. 371-2, 329, a great run. Steve pulls out low ET of his race day on that pass.
I think it's great for the fans that they did that. I agree. I think, Dad wanted to be the one to show, hey, I'm still your dad no matter what you think you've accomplished there, kid. But I also think I applaud the team because if Billy goes up in smoke, whether it's orchestrated or not, if Billy goes up in smoke, can you imagine the internet and all of the, and the fact that he accomplished it the way he did, I think is special. And exactly like what I said about the Brainerd final round earlier in the year, Antron beat Steve, so he had to race Billy in the final. If it had been Steve and Billy in the final and something happens, then it's forever going to be tainted by, those who believe that there's a conspiracy behind every corner. I think it's pretty special the way they did it. And then, to go through that, and then the reigning champ, Brittany, and then the winningest driver ever, Tony, who's trying to close out his Army career the way he started his Army career with a win. That's a pretty impressive. All the trophies look the same, but there are some of them that you earned, and they're extra special. And I think this is going to be one of those.
Oh, the Brittany run. We get 50 minutes or so to ponder. And let's just take a second to ponder, had the result gone the other way. A year ago, Brittany is able to take advantage of Steve's troubles and go on and have a great countdown herself and win the championship over Steve. And then this year, Steve Torrance comes back with a vengeance and goes on and wins the countdown, and has got a great shot at this historic thing. And who's the one who's going to trip him up? Brittany Force? Wow, that would have been a fly in the ointment forever. It would have been a thing like, yeah, but I got you. And no, he wasn't having that at all. Left first, drove away, won the race, and dodges that, whatever it would have been called, historical or emotional bullet. And then, as you mentioned, Tony Schumacher in the final round, the greatest of all time. Steve leaves first and wins on a whole shot. Just amazing.
Well, for Brittany, for anybody that could have been the one to stop the streak, it would have been spectacular. What a story it would have been had it been Brittany. That, the outgoing champ, hey, just a reminder, I've still got the number one on my car for 2 more hours. And then, Tony, when the Army first came back to NHRA with Don Schumacher Racing, they won the first race they were ever on the side of the car. And after all these years and all the success, if they could have won the last race, that would have been so special for them. And you know how bad DSR and Tony and everybody else wanted it. Plus, hey, look, I was the guy that broke the string, would have been spectacular. They gave it their all, and they came up short just like everybody else did since we left Indy, basically.
Yes, exactly. Just since we left Indy. Steve Torrance, the perfect countdown. Amazing stuff, perfection. And that team, they earned it. Bobby and Dom Lagana and everybody, Richard Hogan. Don Garlitz won a Lifetime Achievement Award at the NHRA banquet, and he made a point to mention a guy that he called the King, from Florida, and turned out to be Richard Hogan's dad. And Richard Hogan, who had worked with Garlitz, and to me, Alan, I think it's cool in an era that we talk about, Austin Coyle and Tim Richards, and, which crew chief now is on the crew chief tree of the past, that Richard Hogan, the guy who orchestrated the perfect countdown, is on the Garlitz tree.
Well, Richard Hogan is a guy that is, one, very smart. 2, he spends a lot of time thinking about this stuff and analyzing and going over, the old story about, you don't really win races on Sunday. You win races Monday through Friday. When you're at the shop, putting your strategy together, putting your stuff and figuring out all the nuances. And he's a guy that has been a part of some really special organizations and has had a chance to learn from and teach and exchange information with a lot of really bright guys out there. And, he put it all together this weekend, but I was the same way. I really thought the highlight of the banquet, and I loved all 4 of the professional speeches. I was fortunate enough to do the Lucas banquet, and there were a couple of pretty nice moments over there as well. But Don Garlett's getting up there and talking about the history of the sport and the fact that if it hadn't been for his stepdad, he'd have been a bookkeeper and never would have gotten into drag racing whatsoever, was pretty special.
Very special. And Garlett's just continues to impress over the years as an ambassador for drag racing. He was great stuff. Moving over to Funny Car, where one final point just on Funny Car and Top Fuel. Low ETs, wow. We saw some big-time runs. We saw a 63 in Top Fuel. We saw Ron Capps with an 84. And as more time goes by with this track prep, and we had cool weather, don't get me wrong, but those are some very impressive elapsed times.
They are. The weather was good. The track in Pomona is awesome once it gets some runs on it. We came in Friday, and I think the first qualifying session definitely was a little bit disappointing that there weren't a lot of cars that got down the racetrack. But when you're dealing with a drag strip that doesn't run any kind of weekly program, and there's only a couple of times a year that cars are actually going down, and it just takes a while to come in. But once it does come in, man, the place is fast. The weather was actually a little bit weird. The air was as dry as I've ever seen it. And I talked to a number of other crew chiefs that went, never seen anything like that before. So that it took everybody a run or two to kind of get acclimated with exactly what they had to do for the engines to compensate for that. But, man, once they did, it was a heck of a show.
Bob Tasca takes down Robert Height. JR becomes the champion. JR goes through Bob Tasca, Ron Capps, and Tommy Johnson Jr. in just a very stout fashion and wins the race as the champion. As you mentioned, those guys could have had a big letdown after becoming the champions. They did not. They finished the job.
And wanted to go out, when we talk about what Steve Torrance did, which is win 24 consecutive rounds in the countdown to the championship, absolutely, nobody's ever going to get any better than that. But look at what J.R. Todd's team did. In the 24 available rounds in the championship, they raced in 23 of them. And the old story about, you win championships by winning rounds. Winning races is icing on the cake, but you got to go rounds. Those first-round losses kill you. Those second-round losses can really be a thorn in the side when you're trying to put points together. But the only run during the whole countdown to the championship, the only round that the DHL car didn't compete in was the final round in St. Louis because they got beat in the semis. But they went through, 5 final rounds out of 6 races, 3 wins in that 5 final rounds, and the only other race, if you want to call it a blemish, was a semifinal finish out in St. Louis. That's solid. And, if they'd have done it any year when Steve Torrance wasn't sweeping, people would be talking about how incredible that run was.
Yes, so true. No, the Yellow Fellas, a champion team that JR, waiting to emerge, has won many races, now as a champion. And in his speech, I thought he did. First of all, Steve and JR did a great job. Never thought about the duration of the speech once. I was genuinely interested in everything they were saying. JR talking about his dad, Mario, as a flat track motorcycle racer out there battling it out. And just amazing to watch. Both of those guys kind of put their whole, career and life out there. It was very interesting. JR, I think, is going to be both of them, but I think JR is going to be a very good champion for NHRA drag racing.
I think so as well. I think that, he's got such a passion for the sport that you can hear in his voice anytime you talk to him. And it's just funny, too, that, how history repeats itself. In 2015, Del Worsham won the championship driving the DHL car and won the World Finals by beating Tommy Johnson in the final. And this year, in the DHL car, J.R. Todd won the championship and then won the World Finals, beating Tommy Johnson in the final round. So things that just, history repeats itself from time to time, and that was definitely one of them. But I think you can look back now, the last 5 or 6 years, you'd be hard-pressed to tell me that there's been a better team overall than that DHL team, whether it was Del driving or now JR driving. They have been solid competitors week in and week out, and we'll see what happens going forward, but I certainly don't see him slowing down any.
And Tommy Johnson at the Auto Club Finals is something special as well. Great team, great performance. He won the Hellcat inside the DSR battle. And, TJ, got to give him some love. The guy is good. They finished second. Or third.
Yeah, they finished third. They finished third in the overall points, second at the Auto Club Finals. And that car, quietly over the course of the last 5 years, they're just always a, second, third, fourth place finisher. They don't, not a lot of flash, not, 10 races or 8 races or whatever a year that they win, but they're just solid week in and week out. And they always seem to come through in the countdown to the championship and make a move. So solid season for them, and congratulations to Tommy getting to drive the Hellcat for a year. Maybe he'll let me borrow it.
Yes, exactly. Can we all go for a ride in the Hellcat, please? And Pro Stock, right? He's like, no, you may not. Pro Stock Tanner Gray, and it's a bummer that we're losing this kid, but I understand if he feels like he's got the talent to go make some noise over there, why he would want to go test himself. I get it, but he was on a bit of a mission over the course of this weekend. He really wanted to go 8 straight rounds 00 light. And he did it through qualifying. First round against his dad, he's 002. Second round against Erica, he's 003. In the semis, it went south. Jason Line goes trip 0 on him, and he's 20. And so that's where the, whatever we would have called that, which I don't know if that's happened ever, Alan. You would know better than me. But he was a little sad, but happy he won the round, and then goes on, wins the final with a 10 reaction time, and just lays his mark on Pro Stock Racing. This was Tanner Gray's year.
Yeah, he was laser focused coming in, and as you said, he mentioned later in the weekend that he had set that goal for himself and was kind of disappointed when he missed it in the semis. He was also kind of fortunate. I mean, you remember that Jason Line beat him on a hole shot. Was it Dallas, I believe? And
Charlotte,
okay. And, that's something that I think bothered Tanner a little bit. Not that, he was going to throw his hands up and declare war on anybody, but the fact that he prides himself on his starting line stuff and that he lost on a hole shot, and that Jason, if he had got down the racetrack, certainly had a chance to end the string there. And that I think, would have really tore up Tanner if he has 6 straight 00 lights, then goes 20 and loses to a perfect light. But it didn't happen. And it's one of those things that, when it's going your way, it's just going your way. And sometimes you can't do anything wrong. You make a perfect run and great, and you make a terrible run and somebody hands it to you. But I also think you create your own luck when you're running like his car was and driving. And he didn't have the dominant car. He had a very solid car, but certainly not the dominant car. But you start pressing. You go up there and think to yourself, all right, we know Tanner's going to leave on us. We better be able to run a 50 flat or a 51, and it just wasn't possible out there. So Jason got the jump, but the car didn't go down the racetrack, and Tanner's able to go on and make it to the final. And then in the final round, when he's got Drew Skillman, and how bad does Drew want to win one race in this past year?
Badly.
Before he's leaving the class as well, and gone the whole year without winning, been close a couple of times. And Drew goes up there thinking, I got to be perfect, and misses it 2 thou, turns the red light on and hands it right to Tanner. But that's an intimidation win. Tanner won that round because Skillman went up there with the attitude, I have to be perfect, and he missed it by 2 thou.
And he needed to be 005 or better. So he was doing the right thing against Tanner on that run. Tanner was 010 and outran him by 5 thou. Just amazing. I had a conversation with Jeg Coughlin about, when technically, mathematically, they were still alive, but not really, And Jake's like, we had our chances against him. It's not like we didn't get to race him. I raced him. Erica raced him. He beat us a bunch of times. He just kept beating us. So Jeg had great perspective on it. Like, the kid put together a great year. They had opportunities, and they failed. They failed at their opportunities. And, long live Tanner Gray.
And I think that's exactly it. Jeg is a guy who's been around this a long time. He's been on the good side and on the bad side of some great championship runs, and he just understands. He understands the sport. He understands how it works. He understands, sometimes it's your year and sometimes it's not your year. But, that perspective, I think, is perfect. The elite guys are not going to go back to the shop and go, boy, we just wish somebody would have beat them. It's like, guys, why didn't you do it? And you had the chances. So I am going to really, really miss the rivalry between those two going forward. I think, as much as I'm going to miss Tanner, I'm going to miss the rivalry between those teams.
And it's possible, I'm not saying this based on any knowledge I have, other than the knowledge of, world motorsport. Tanner's got a great opportunity, and he's got a lot of talent. He's a champion. He's got a lot of upside. He's going over to the round track world, and he's going to test his abilities. And I have no doubt he's got a whole lot of talent, but that's what you do when you're a young man. This is a wonderful sport where you can race into your late 30s, 40s, 50s. I have a feeling we will see Tanner Gray in the drag racing world again at some point. It might be 10 years from now. Maybe it'll be 20 years from now. But he's so young that I feel like we're going to see him back in drag racing.
That's very possible. His family obviously has a long history. Counting the Auto Club Finals, there's 31 wins for Gray Motorsports between he and his father and his grandfather over a variety of different classes. So who knows? Maybe they will be back at some point.
There you go. As a NASCAR champion coming back running a race like Kurt Busch did a couple of years ago. Who knows? Who knows? And in Pro Stock Motorcycle, how funny, just the way things turn. Okay, Top Fuel was the least competitive of all the countdowns because Steve Torrence won every race. A year ago, it was Pro Stock Motorcycle. Eddie Krawiec kind of just crushed everybody. This year, this was very exciting, right down to the wire. The final run, the final race, identical reaction times. Matt Smith able to outrun Eddie Krawiec, the current champ. He made it all the way to the final, had a chance to back-to-back, but Matt beat him.
Matt had the dominant bike, and he said that he had a motor that he's had under the bench in the trailer for a while that on the dyno showed a tremendous advantage over anything else he had, and that he was saving it for the finals. He said if he got to the finals and had a mathematical chance to win the thing, which he, going in with a 4-point lead, that's when he was going to break this thing out and try to break their backs with it. And that's exactly what he did. He qualified number one. He made just some of the most astounding runs we've seen all year. And when your final round, you're racing for the championship head up, and you run the fastest speed in the history of your class, then that's a pretty dominant performance.
Yes, simple as that. Kudos to Eddie Krawiec, though, for making it a battle and very entertaining all the way. Eddie getting through Hector Jr., Matt getting through LE. That's the championship contenders there at the Final Four. Just showing you what kind of a season it was. Some other interesting storylines. Andrew Hines not getting a win for the first time in, I believe, 14 seasons. He was bummed out about it, but at moments like this, you respect the accomplishment. Wow, 14 straight seasons.
Yeah, but you're still bummed that it ended. Jason Lyon ended his in Charlotte. He was on the same trajectory as Andrew, that he could have possibly gone the first time in 15 years that he didn't win a race. And he was able to keep his string going with the win down in Charlotte. If you remember, though, Andrew was in the same position last year coming into the finals. And after the championship was locked up and he raced Eddie in the final, Andrew got the win when Eddie made a less than competitive run in the other lane. Let's just put it that way. But he was at least able to keep the string going. So obviously next year they're going to be back trying to start another one. And like I told Matt in the winner's circle, I said, what you did with this motor and this performance is you just showed everybody that they got a lot of work to do in the winter. And not that anybody was planning on taking the winter off, but they're going to be even more motivated now to go find something to try to slow down Matt.
Absolutely. Great race, independent of all other races. It was just very entertaining, a lot of fun. The champions did very well. The champions crowned. The awards ceremony, fantastic. Let's talk about a couple of the other winners, though. James Stevens wins Top Alcohol Dragster from outside of the field, inserted as an alternate, and goes on to win the race. That's fun.
It's only the third time it's happened in alcohol dragster history. And, the funny thing to me is, and I didn't realize this until I started looking it up, but the first guy that ever did that was Blaine Johnson.
Wow.
It was at Gainesville a number of years ago, before they got onto their, competitive win everything domination streak, when the brothers were just kind of, still getting their feet wet and learning. But the second guy to do it was Michael Bartone, who was Tony Bartone's brother, did it at Indy when he was the number 18 qualifier, 18 on the qualifier list, and a couple of guys were broke, and he was inserted into the field and won it. But James Stevens got a good race car. I mean, that was certainly not a fluke. It was really, I think, more of a fluke that he didn't qualify, because he's been running very, very well, and they just finally figured it out. It's a classic case of, you give a guy too many runs, and the alcohol cars, just like the nitro cars, they struggled with the racetrack in the early qualifying session. So we had kind of some wacky first-round matchups, but sometimes you just need one more run to get it straight, and that's basically what Stevens was. He just needed one more run, and once he got the thing figured out, he certainly had a fast, competitive car. So kudos to that team for their first win.
Shane Westerfield takes the win in Top Alcohol Funny Car, capping his championship season before he gives way to Sean Bellemere as the new champ. David Rampy, flair for the dramatic, 100th win in the final race of 2018.
Yeah, he finally got it done. He had a chance in Dallas to get it get that milestone, but couldn't quite close the deal there. So, congratulations to him. It was really, and I'm almost glad he didn't do it in Dallas because of the way Dallas went down. The sportsman cars finishing on Monday. I think I'm glad that he did it in a brighter spotlight. If he'd have done it in Dallas, there wouldn't have been television there. There wouldn't have been the full grandstands there. There wouldn't have been the parade of champions to celebrate the moment. And so I'm glad that he waited until this one. But I know that now, I think you can't possibly not think about that. As much as you say, well, we're not worried about milestones. We're not worried about this. But it's always in the back of your mind. Hey, I'm this close. I'm this close. And sometimes I think that can be a distraction. So I think it's probably a relief for him to join the club that only included John Force, Frank Manzo, and Dan Fletcher, and now has obviously David on the list. But I think for him, it's almost okay. Now can we quit talking about that and let's just go back to racing?
Oh, I'm sure. Getting up close against those milestones has got to be so annoying. We did it to Fletcher. We did it to Rampy. Every single time they come up, 100, it's coming up. Can they do it? They got to hate it. I'm sure they have to hate it, and now they don't have to worry about it anymore.
That's it. So now we'll have to start figuring out who might be the next one to try to get to that milestone.
It's Greg Anderson, right?
Greg Anderson is the closest, but, Greg Anderson, the Summit guys, they need to find a little bit more performance. They're running well, but they're certainly not running at the front of the class where they were 2 or 3 years ago.
Yes, that is so true. They got so many cars over there they're working on. I wonder, does that have anything to do with it? Focus. Just they got a lot of cars, a lot of clients, a lot of people out there that they're helping, and they do have fast cars, but we'll see. It's the perfect time of year to work that stuff out. Steve Wan in Superstock, Jeff Taylor, Stock Eliminator, Chad Weber, a first-time winner in Supercomp, Roger Cotto in Super Gas, couple of first-time winners right there, Brian Hendrickson, Sportsman ET, John Markham, and Pro Bike ET Motorcycle, Nelson Belot Jr. toes in all the way from across the country, wins Pro ET, and Pat Osmondson in Super Pro. That is the Summit Racing Equipment. Those are basically the world champions of Summit ET Racing.
And that's just another great program. The fact that, you have to win at your local track, then you have to win at the division level. You have to go through either a parade of champions or some type of qualifying thing just to get an invitation to come to Pomona. And for a number of those guys, and it never ceases to amaze me when Summit does a really nice dinner for them on Thursday over at the museum to kind of kick off the weekend and welcome everybody. How many of those racers have never been to a national event before and never even been to a national event track before? NHRA sanctions a whole lot more than just, the Charlottes and the Bristols and the Chicagos of the world. There are a lot of little bitty tracks out, in the middle of nowhere, basically, kind of like the track where I started on, that are part of the NHRA umbrella. And this program allows those racers to come race in front of a big grandstand in a grand stadium with a whole lot of people watching and put the spotlight on them. They are also part of the TV show, the Lucas Oil TV show that we do from Pomona. We pick up all the classes in the semifinals. And, a guy that rides a 10-second motorcycle in Podunk, wherever, and I don't mean any disrespect, I'm just meaning, a little bitty racetrack off the beaten path someplace. How many chances is he going to get to actually be on national television in a big stadium that's full of people that's cheering him on? And that's what makes this program so special for those racers.
Absolutely. Alan, final thoughts on the season. We're going to get together a couple of more times before the holidays as WFO continues on. There's a lot of information to debrief on and things to think about, and so we'll get together. But here it is. It's still fresh in your mind when you look back, at the race, at the season. Give me some final thoughts.
Just, who could have planned at the beginning of the year how it would all come down at the end of the year? And that's, part of the roller coaster that we live on. Go out there and just, fire them up and see what happens. I think, hopefully we'll have an opportunity later on to talk about all the sportsman champions. So for now, I'm going to let that part slide by. But just what an incredible year. And I think Pomona was a perfect example of one of those races. If that's the first time you ever visited and saw an NHRA race in person and you didn't think that was cool, then don't ever come back. I don't know that we're ever going to put on a better show than that. We had just craziness from top to bottom, and the final rounds for the championship in motorcycle, 2,000 red light for a guy who desperately wants to win in pro stock. Tommy Johnson, if he beats J.R. Todd, finishes second in the overall point standings. And then the final round, the last two cars down the racetrack of the year both went over 330 miles an hour. Throughout the course of the day, we had tremendous stuff. And like I said, if that's the first time that you had ever visited an NHRA to see a race live and you didn't think that was cool, then we got nothing for you.
Yeah, simple as that. Simple as that. No, great season of NHRA drag racing. It was a lot of fun, just a lot of storylines, and they played out right to the end. Alan, great job as usual. I am sure you've got plenty of stuff to do around the house, but what about automotive projects? What's your big one for the winter break?
I'm still looking. I was never able to find a car that's going to be my project. So if anybody out there's listening, if you got a 70 Barracuda Challenger that's sitting in the garage that's in the way and you just want somebody to haul it off, I'll come haul it off for free because I'm that kind of guy.
There you go.
No, I'm still looking. I'll find something. I don't know. Another Mustang, I actually found a 62 Tempest with a trophy four-cylinder and a manual transmission, or transaxle, I guess. And I went, talked to the guy, and talked him into keeping it because apparently I'm stupid. But I'm still looking. I will find a project, because if I don't, then I know what I will do. I'll start taking stuff apart that ain't broke. And the first thing is going to be my Mustang, and it took me a lot of years to get it like I like it, so I don't want to take it apart.
There you go. And from what I understand, as we get closer to PRI, we're going to hype up all things PRI, but you will be moderating a panel discussion on the future of racing there. And I saw a little bit of an ad or a story on it, and I thought that's interesting because, that's something we all wonder about, the future of racing, where's it going, all that stuff, and you're going to be right in the middle of it.
And I'm looking forward to that. The members on the panel are all, really, really sharp guys that have been around for a long time. And you know as well as I do that in order to survive, you have to evolve. And that goes with racing as well. So it'll be very interesting, I think, to have a chat with the rest of the panel members about, where we came from, where we're going, what we're going to have to do, because, we've seen it across the boards. Look at some of the other series that are struggling a little bit to fill the grandstands, or we're struggling a little bit with television ratings. And NHRA, very thankful that we're kind of on the forefront of that. We have had increases in crowds, and we've had increases in TV ratings, but you have to evolve in order to survive. So I think that's going to be a fascinating conversation about, and we're not talking about what everybody's going to do in, February next year. We're talking about where do we need to be 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road. It should be a very interesting exchange of ideas. But yeah, there's a lot going on. There's no off season. You nailed it. It's winter break. Everybody gets to catch their breath a little bit and get refueled and restocked, and then we go racing again.
There you have it. Alan, great job. It was a lot of fun working with you. I did more races here in 2018 than ever before. It was a great experience. I had a whole lot of fun. I continue to evolve and learn more about the sport of NHRA drag racing. I appreciate it. Being able to, to watch and be there. It's just, it's awesome. It's a spectacular situation. Great that we've been able to have, growth and fun all at the same time.
I agree. And, with you and Brian both being out there on the full-time tour, it certainly gave us a little bit more continuity in the announcer's booth. And I think that, I think for the three of us, it certainly was the best ever, simply because we've got the weekly continuity going. And pleasure to do it all year. Everybody gets to catch their breath, and hopefully we'll all be in the same positions in the same place next year when we fire off Pomona.
There you have it. Alan, great job. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Joe. Take care. We'll talk to you next week.
There he goes, the voice of the NHRA. Alan Reinhart joins us each week right at the start of WFO Radio NHRA Nitro. Yes, we will go through the winter break with this show. If this is your first time ever listening, no big deal. No big deal. You can just catch up in the archive anytime you want. All right, when we come back, you are going to hear Winner's Circle audio from Auto Club Raceway, a whole bunch of interviews, crazy stuff, fun stuff, introspective stuff that you will love greatly as you're taken right into the moment when it was all going. And I think maybe there was some stuff from the after party, too, the after race party, which is just incredible. It's one of the great things about NHRA drag racing, and love being there at the Auto Club Finals when everybody gets together and celebrates. The Megarita was back out. Can you believe it? I feel so great about that. And I'll talk a little bit about all of that in my time at the end of the show on this slightly late but hopefully appreciated edition of NHRA Nitro. But right now I want to tell you about Rodak'sCoffeeandGrills.com. Marvin Rodak, the holidays are upon us. Oh, yes, the holidays. I know they're not really upon us, but we're getting close. Close enough for you to start thinking about what it is that you're going to get the folks. So go to Rodak'sCoffeeandGrills.com. Hit the contact button. 817-924-6821. Call Marvin. Holiday packs for all the people that are, out and about around the country that you are looking for something to send them and you don't know what it is and you want to make a big splash of coffee. Nice bag of coffee, a bottle of hot sauce, a container of award-winning spice rub to your friends and the people who have been helpful to you over the course of the year. What's better than that? 817-924-6821. Call Marvin at Rodak'sCoffeeandGrills.com. Back with audio from Auto Club Raceway after the Auto Club Finals after this.
This is WFO Radio.
Hey, racers and race fans, I want to tell you about the motorsports guys. Terry McMillan from Elkhart, Indiana, has got a new venture, and we want you to hit the website at motorsportsguys.com. It's going to be a one-stop shop. They're going to have it all, but most importantly, oil, Amalie, better than it has to be since 1903, available at motorsportsguys.com. Check it out. Bookmark it, motorsportsguys.com. Terry McMillan stepping up as a supporter of WFO Radio. Check him out, motorsportsguys.com.
Start your education at full speed with the School of Automotive Machinists and Technology. Accelerate your career as a high-performance engine builder with classroom instruction and practical hands-on experience in the lab, on the dyno, and at the track. In addition to the blockhead and CNC programs, SAM now offers motorsport, EFI tuning, and an Associates of Applied Science degree. And SAM is a military-friendly school, approved to train veterans and other eligible persons under the GI Bill. Start your education at full speed. Go to samtech.edu today.
Hussey Performance Copper Head Gaskets. You got to call David directly. 724-318-8292. Hussey Performance Copper Head Gaskets for you engine builders out there. These guys are supporting WFO. Check them out. It is husseyperformance.net.
Subscribe to WFO Radio on iTunes. Never miss a show. And don't forget to write a review. WFO.
Now, back to WFO Radio, NHRA Nitro.
Welcome back. Before we head back out to Auto Club Raceway, so much going on, so much news and things happening. We're not going to be able to tackle it all at once, and I don't like to just blurt out news that happened and went down, but there is a lot of news happening and going down. So just stay subscribed to WFO Radio, NHRA Nitro, our Ignition show. We're going to cover it all. We'll be at the NASCAR season finale coming up this weekend. It is going to be great. Whole lot of fun. We're going to have a great time. And we're just going to stay on these stories, and we're going to hear from all of the champions, including the Lucas Oil Series champions, Racing RVs, Top Sportsman, Top Dragster, all of that going to be going on throughout the offseason, so stick around. Right now, though, I want to tell you about something that is upcoming at PRI. Hangstifer's Metalworking Lubricants and Hangstifer's Laboratories going to have a booth out there at PRI, and Tommy Johnson and Antron Brown going to be there. The Sackman brothers going to be there. I'm going to pass by. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. But the whole point is for you to learn about Hangstifer's Laboratories and how they have put together a program that helps anybody with a machine shop or that is cutting for a living be more efficient. So definitely be ready. The PRI trade show, we're going to give you the booth number. We're going to give you the dates. Clearly, it's all going to be going down. But the folks at Hangstifer's really stepping up, and you see them on the side of DSR and JFR and the cars and machines out there that make it happen. Plus, they help out some of the little guys, slightly little, because Matt Sackman and Zach Sackman, they're not little by any means. But they are doing a great job as they climb the ladder in the NHRA universe as well. And, of course, they're helping out WFO Radio. So if you're a WFO listener who is going to be at PRI, let's already make the plans to meet up at the Hangstifer's booth, thanks to Hangstifer's Laboratories, and it's going to be great. Maybe you can get your shop or your factory or whatever you got switched over to the folks at Hangstifer's. All right, let's get going. Back out to Auto Club Raceway. On-location audio of the Winner's Circle celebration. The Winner's some of the champs. Did we catch up with everybody? No. Will we catch up with everybody at some point? Yes. So let's go back out to Auto Club Raceway. WFO here with Steve. We're just going to talk about the championship, the perfect countdown. We talked about it on WFO right after your second win because I guess it could have happened, but it happened.
You know, it's still a little bit unreal that we've been able to accomplish what we've accomplished. These boys right here are bad to the bone, and it breeds confidence. I go up there and drive when I know I got the best group of guys, the best team out here, and I know people say that all the time, but they've proved it. They are the best. Over the last 2 years, we've won 19 races. That's close to half of every one of them we've been in, and I can't thank them and the good Lord enough. I can't thank my mom and dad for giving me this opportunity, and we're going to enjoy tonight. We're going to celebrate, have a good time, and just be thankful that we've been so blessed.
We're going to do a full debrief at a later date. I want you to just go celebrate and enjoy this and let it sink in. You've been so great to me on WFO. You always bring real stuff for our show and our listeners. That's what the sport of drag racing is about. You've done a great job. I'm so happy for you and your family. You got a speech to give tomorrow night now.
I know. That's usually I'm the guy that wings it, but I kind of been writing a little bit just so that I had some cliff notes. But at the end of the day, this ain't about me. This is about this team. My mom and dad, Richard Hogan, Bobby Lagana, every one of those boys that worked their tails off. We were oh so close last year, and we didn't get the deal sealed. But it in my mind, we did win the championship, and it taught us how to win. You got to learn how to win a race, and then you got to learn how to win a championship, and we learned how to do it last year, and we all handled the pressure when we needed to, and to do it the way that we did, nobody can ever beat it. They can only tie it, and it's a dang good feeling, and it was even more gratifying to do it against Tony, because that was a momentous event to the final race of the Army. That was on the stake to end there and to have a perfect season. So there was a lot at stake for both of us as drivers. Tony Schumacher, he's been a guy that I've looked up to. He is the machine. He goes out and handles business when the pressure's on, and he's been a good role model for me as a driver. And I'm just thankful that it happened the way that it did.
Steve, go celebrate. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, brother.
There you go. We are with Mama Kay Torrance, who I have been able to interview several times over the course of the year, and she always says the right thing. One round at a time, one race at a time. But now, Mama Kay, there are no more races left to run. You guys have completed the sweep of the countdown, something that can never be beaten, can only be tied. How do you feel?
I'm still letting it all soak in. It's been an unbelievable year. And, you want me to just be honest with you?
Yes.
God says, knock, seek, and ask. And I have been knocking, seeking, and asking for one round at a time. And it's unbelievable what he's allowed these guys to accomplish.
Amazing. Watching it happen, you're hoping to win or take me through that, because, 24 straight rounds just doesn't happen, let alone in the playoffs. Were you feeling nerves? Billy was obviously going after Steve. He tried to take the thing and end it. But Steve got around his dad.
What I said every round is, someone's going to win. Why not these Capco boys being the winner?
Oh, my goodness. That is awesome. And so with this accomplishment, you're obviously happy and all. You're going to come back next year and do it all again. But this is like a historic moment in drag racing. You're talking about letting it all sink in. Will that ever sink in?
Probably not. But if anyone has a shot at even tying this epic moment, it's going to be these Capco boys.
That is so great. Banquet tomorrow. Steve's going to give a speech, going to get up there, and I can't help but think how, you're a family-run team, and the team is a family. That's something special. You're going to have a good time, I'm sure.
Yes, sir. Can't wait. Can't wait to see the baby boy on the stage getting his title.
Oh, my goodness. So cool. Mama Kay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
WFO Radio here with Dom Lagana. Dom, the Capco boys swept the countdown. That's not supposed to be possible. How did this happen?
I don't know. I think there's always luck involved in drag racing, but they got a badass group of guys, and Billy, Steve, and Mama Kay are hardcore racers at heart. They spend their vacation money. This is their vacation racing, and Steve drove his ass off all year. He's unbelievable. I mean, 3 whole shot wins in the countdown, and like I said, the group has been flawless. I'm lucky to be a part of it and enjoy the hell out of it, and it's unbelievable.
Yes, now, since this is an audio show and our listeners don't necessarily know, we're doing a very serious interview here, and you're dressed like a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm a serious guy. I don't screw around at all, and not really, but...
I don't drink.
I don't drink. I don't have a 40 right now.
No 40 ounces.
And probably the worst case scenario for California is that the Torrance is one and a Coletta DHL car won, because we're going to wreck this place. It's not going to be good.
It's going to be a party.
It's pretty awesome that Torrances are a single car, single team, and they race for the love. Connie Coletta has obviously raced for the love of the sport. And for this car, it's Scott's car to win the championship this year. They got a great group of guys, and it's 2 really cool cars that win the championship. I feel like it's not out of nowhere, but out of the blue scenario for NHRA.
Well,
and it's
the stat that I found, this is the stat, is it's been 26 years, a quarter century.
Since a Force Schumacher car hasn't won. That's badass, and we both were a part of it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. This year will definitely go down in history for the overall, and Matt Smith won it in the finals. That's badass. Tanner Gray, youngest championship. It's pretty cool.
Great stuff. All right, Tom.
We're going to enjoy the hell out of it tonight.
And you're going to the banquet, right?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be bad tomorrow night. We'll probably get thrown out.
Good. Can't wait. I'll be there. Get thrown out with you.
Thanks, Joe.
Tom, congratulations.
Go Yankees.
Yes. All right, taking a quick break from our on-location audio at Auto Club Raceway to tell you about CatSpotLitter.com. Scott Palmer, what a season. Career bests at the Auto Club Finals and just had no luck. That's what I'm saying. That's my analysis. Came up short on a bunch of close races. You can go into the archive on NHRA.com and you can see the races that they lost by 1,000th here, a couple thousandths there. Tough competition. Tony Schumacher took them down a few times. Just a great season, though, because they are learning how to win. That's what Scott Palmer is telling me. And CatSpotLitter.com is making it possible. They're keeping a lot of people out there racing, a lot of people out there pursuing what they love, and all the while providing something better for the cat owners out there. So go to CatSpotLitter.com. It is e-commerce. You can buy right from the website. It's a subscription, so depending on the number of cats you have, they will send it out. I actually spent a little time playing with some Cat Spot litter out there at the Auto Club Finals because we did a Facebook Live with Scott and Kevin Kinsley. They had the Top Fuel Hydro out there, and I got to check out the Cat Spot, and it's like, clearly better than the stuff you're using right now for a million reasons, including it's natural. It absorbs odors. It absorbs everything. You can dispose of it in a very easy way. Go to CatSpotLitter.com. Check it out. They're doing a great job. And Scott Palmer having a great season. Thanks to Tommy Thompson for supporting WFO Radio and Scott and everybody that he is on the side with. Magic Dry, for those of you who do not have a cat, and you're like, dude, I'm all in, except I don't have a cat. Magic Dry, that's for you. All right. Back out to Auto Club Raceway. WFO here with world champion crew chief, once again, John Oberhofer. Jono, tell me, man, how's it feel?
Oh, it feels pretty good. After a few more drinks, it'll feel better. But, it feels great. We're just so proud of everybody on the team. The yellow fellas, they do a badass job. And then JR, he is just lights out. Just driving the shit out of it. I thought we were going to smoke tires in the finals, but he kept it in the groove good enough, and we were able to win the race. So that was pretty cool.
One with Dell, one with JR. JR has said, Dell is like one of the icon drivers, won championships in both. So it's got to be cool to be able to work with great drivers. Can you compare and contrast? Like JR is new. He's at the beginning of his funny car learning curve still.
Oh, yeah. You can compare, but to me it's not worth it because, in my whole career I've been a part of, some really good drivers. Scott Coletta, Doug Coletta, Del Worsham, JR Todd. They're just great people. And they're my friends, but they're just the quality of people. They all have their little intricacies about how good they are in certain things, so I'm not going to pick one. You know, I mean.
Oh, I didn't want you to pick one. I just wanted you to know how are they the same?
Yeah.
What do they have that makes them so great?
Desire. You know, that's the biggest thing. I mean, you asked me earlier in the week on the pit walk thing. You know, I compete. I get paid to compete. You know, and if we're playing tiddlywinks, you know, I want to win. You know, I didn't let my daughters win when we were playing games or anything. You know, they had to earn it. There's no participation trophies. You know, that's how intense it gets, and you know, your ability and your want to win, and it drives you. It makes you work the extra hour. It makes you double check, triple check things. You have to want this. It's, you know, nothing good is easy, you know, and nothing should be given to you. You know, you should have to work for it. You know, I firmly believe that.
The nerves, you were feeling it. You told us about it. You can't control it. It happens no matter what.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I was a little nervous before first round, you know, just because we've come so far and you just don't want to, you know, give it away, you know, and you have faith in your numbers, you have faith in your people, you have faith in your driver, you know, you just don't want to be the weak link, you know, and you know, the guys did a great job, phenomenal, you know, and we made every run in the countdown except one, you know, so I mean, we did pretty good. We had 3 wins in the countdown, 6 total. We won Indy, you know, back to back, and it's been a pretty good year. We kind of took the summer off a little bit, but after that we were able to, you know, when we went testing, mainly during the West Coast swing, things started to change for us, and then by the time we tested, it got better, and we honed in on a lot of things, and then Indy showed us a lot of what we could accomplish, and we just stuck to our game plan and went from there.
Well, congratulations on this win. Watching you celebrate after a great run in qualifying told me something. Yeah. You guys hit on something like, they were having problems and now they got it, and it turned out to be was the run that got you pointed in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we were a little bit overly aggressive on Friday. You know, last couple races Friday we haven't done so well, but you know, we backed the thing down, let the car talk to us, and we just listened real hard, you know, and then once we got a starting point from Q3, we were able to build on it for Q4, and then we just built on it every run, you know, during race day, and then, you know, we have, you know, some really good parts, you know, and we just we saved our best parts for when we had to run the best, and that was in the semifinals and the finals. You know, we have good parts other than that, but, you know, we save our special ones for them. You know, some parts just work better, you know, and then every time we put them on, they run a little better. So, you know, when we got to throw down, we could throw down, you know, and it makes it really enjoyable. You know, the car's been great where we could, you know, if we need to do something, you know, pick it up a little bit, we've been able to do that, turn the knobs a little bit here and there, and been able to perform.
Well, you say your driver's a badass.
Oh, he is.
You are a badass.
You know, we're badass as a team. You know, the yellow fellows are badass. I'm so proud of all of them. I mean, every one of them, just a great guy. And, you know, we have talks. I'm kind of like, you know, I firmly believe in a positive attitude. You know, if you're told you're a piece of shit, sooner or later you're going to believe it. You know, but if you're told, you know, you're a badass, you know, you're good, you know, you're this, you're that you'll start to believe it, and then you're going to have confidence, and then it just builds from there, you know. So I mean, I really firmly believe in a positive attitude. You know, you got to have that.
Well, great job, congratulations.
Thank you.
Go enjoy it with your team.
I will. Thank you so much, Joe.
You want to?
No, let's keep the music. It's good. Okay. Yeah, no, people like the music.
Okay.
Right.
Cool.
WFO with my neighbor, Todd Smith.
Yeah.
Todd, world champion once again. Congratulations.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it, man. It's been a great year. A lot of wins, a lot of success. We topped it off here with a win at the finals, and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, I don't imagine how you could be happier. I mean, maybe you could be like Steve Torrence and have swept the deal.
Exactly. You know, I look at what we did, and I think, God, we were great. That team was totally awesome. You know, it's incredible what they did. You know, that's something for all of us to live up to. And, you know, what do you do? We're in awe over everything that they did. Won every single run in the countdown. That's pretty good.
Crazy stuff. You had some very pressure-packed runs as well, however.
Yeah, we did. The good thing about my team that I'm so proud of and especially our driver, is that we rise to every occasion. You know, we don't fold up, we don't choke. Our driver is so good. He is so good in pressure situations, and we seem to deliver in those deals. And every time you do that, it just makes you more and more confident. And so each time we go into those, you feel like you got it.
Wow, that's great. Now, I bet you're looking forward to going back to the frozen tundra of Ypsilanti, Michigan, and working during the winter break, right?
I'll be up there this winter, but you know me, we're from Florida. I'm going home first, and then I'm spending a week in St. John. So I'm going to go down there, relax with my wife, and enjoy the warm weather a little bit longer before I go to Detroit.
There you go. Todd, congratulations. World champions once again.
Okay, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
WFO here with Toyota's Slugger Labby, who is also a Daytona 500 winning crew chief, who is now, we get him on the NHRA side a lot, and has been working with the Yellow Fellas and Coletta Motorsports. And he has been educating me privately off to the side just about different stuff. And now you guys have won a world championship. How does this feel?
It's awesome, to win, I think, 6 races this year with JR and win a championship. It's great for me to be my first year in drag racing. Basically, my whole incentive, or Toyota's incentive with me, is to bring some of the technology from NASCAR over to NHRA, and that's exactly what we've done. We've helped these guys, we all know drag races. They worry about clutches and engines. And my whole objective coming here was to bring technology, worry about tires, worry about chassis, worry about headers, the things that the crew chiefs typically don't look at. So we've brought a lot of technology over to this side, the simulation programs, the tuning programs, the database programs, just simple stuff like that to make their jobs more efficient. So it's great to be a part of these guys. I've won NASCAR championships and now I've been a part of a NHRA championship, so I feel very, very rewarded that these guys have accepted me into their team. But what a great group of guys. They work really, really hard, and they believe in what we do at TRD and Toyota Racing to support these guys. So it's just a phenomenal last 3 months. It's been crazy. We hit up on a few things at Seattle, and it's really carried on through the rest of the year to this point tonight here in Winter Circle. So it's great to be a part of. And, this kid from Maine is very, very excited to be a part of winning a championship in NHRA.
Now, that's what I want to know about. Obviously, the pinnacle of Daytona 500, winning that race. You've been to the mountaintop in NASCAR, and certainly we like and appreciate that, and often wonder, when someone comes into the sport of drag racing, what do you think? Now you get to drink from this chalice of victory, but really, what do you think of the sport of NHRA drag racing at this point?
Well, phenomenal. Every week it's sold out, and that's what I tell all these people. It's the fans are really, really behind drag racing, but to me, what happens in 3.7 seconds or 3.8 seconds is just phenomenal. There's so many things that can go wrong, and you got to eliminate your mistakes, and that's what we try to do, is help these guys realize the strengths and weaknesses of what these cars perform at. But I'll tell you, it's been neat for me to come here, and my learning curve has just been so fast, because I didn't know crap about these cars, and Andy Grays and David Wilson said, you're in charge of the NHRA account, so my learning curve had to go fast, and John O and Todd and Nikki and everybody, Tommy Delago, when I first got here, I spent a lot of time with Tommy, basically just getting education 101 on drag racing, and these guys have really accepted me. And it's just great to see them get rewarded for this tonight. Great for Connie to win another championship. Unfortunately, he left. He went home already. So, but it's just neat. But, we're trying to bring more technology. We're in 2 weeks, we're going to start building another new chassis that we've been working on at TRD, and we're going to help these guys get better yet next year. So we look forward to not letting off from where we ended up this year.
Well, that is great. I'm happy that you have been integrated into the sport so well. You've done so well. Congratulations on this Mellow Yellow Championship, and thank you personally for education on the side, because my learning curve is not going as quick as yours. No, but I anytime I can add to my knowledge base, I appreciate it. So thank you.
Yeah, it's cool. Like I said, a lot of great people here at Coletta Motorsports, and even at Don Schumacher Racing, working with Antron Brown, and Mike Green has been a great guy that I've leaned on a lot to tug his shoulder and learn and ask a lot of questions and get some honest answers. So that's the thing about this sport here. There's a lot of honest people that will give you honest answers. They don't send you down the wrong path. They give you the honest answer when you have an honest question. So I feel blessed to be a part of this sport of NHRA drag racing, and I understand why it's growing every year, because it's definitely a racer's sport, and there's a lot of racers in this garage area.
Slugger, thank you so much. Go celebrate.
Thanks, I will. Happy holidays.
Such great audio from out on location at Auto Club Raceway. Just walking around with my mobile recording device, just taking in the moment as best as I could. Great stuff. Great stuff. You'll even hear from some WFO radio listeners. And one day I will give you the methodology into how all this works. It's really chaotic. It's a chaotic scene. But right now I want to tell you about motorsportsguys.com. Terry McMillan, new mail order business. I want you to open a browser right now. You could do probably half of your Christmas shopping right at motorsportsguys.com. They're a high-performance distributor, and the fact is they've got all the brands. They've got oils, they've got fluids, they've got filter systems, they've got brakes, drivetrain, everything. You can check it out. They've got all kinds of featured products on there, greases and moly filters. If you want to do your next oil change at home, all you got to do is go to motorsportsguys.com, and when you make your purchase, you can also get that McMillan Tribute hat, which is normally $28. It will be free for you if you use the promo code WFO with another purchase, which is cool. I really love it. But what's more important is that it shows that Terry and team are growing and expanding. They're taking their initial Amelie store and they've moved it into a more general motorsports distribution brand. And they are supporting WFO Radio, and so I would hope you guys would go out there and support them. Go to motorsportsguys.com, check it out. Amelie oils, better than they have to be since 1903. The same oil that Terry uses. You might be a regular guy looking to change the oil in your Toyota Camry, or you might be a Top Fuel team. Go to motorsportsguys.com. Get that Amelie motor oil, better than it has to be. Thanks to motorsportsguys.com. All right, back out to Auto Club Raceway. All right, WFO here with Michael James, the voice of the Yellow Fellas for several years now. This is like you've become the voice of the Yellow Fellas. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, to represent DHL, Coletta Motorsports, Toyota, this is a dream come true. I mean, to win the second championship, with this team, we won in 15 and now 2018. What a great season. I couldn't be more proud to be part of this team. I mean, Alan Reinhardt said earlier, we raced in 23 of the possible 24 rounds in the countdown, and to go 44 and 18 this year, wow, unbelievable. At least to me, the funny car is the most competitive class in the sport. You got 14, 15 cars that are possible to win this race every weekend. There's no easy gimmies, and you got to go out there and take it. And again, to be a part of the Yellow Fellas, to be a part of this team, there's no place else I would rather be.
And I like the fact that you we always have conversations we did before the U.S. Nationals just about how you want it so bad. You want it so bad. You live this, you want it so bad. And you're getting the success.
Yeah. For me, this is family. This is what I was passionate about when I was young and a kid. So, for me, I give it everything I got. And I'm not saying that everybody else in the sport doesn't give it everything they got either, but there's Saturdays and Sundays that I'm at that we're at the shop and we're all working our asses off. And it's just special. Hurry up! I really can't even put it into words right now. It's to give. I'll tell you a story. At the end of 2016, when Dell retired from driving again, and we knew JR was going to be the driver of this car, we went to our Christmas party. And this may be off subject, and I apologize. We walked into our Christmas party. Me and Matt Bynum, and we ran into Mario and Kim Todd. And me and Matt both had our championship rings on from 15. And Mario said to me, "Promise me you get me one of these." I said, "No doubt." And I'm very, very happy to deliver on that promise. And now the battle starts tomorrow night to go for back-to-back. I mean, it's crazy to think that the last time it was done, it was 2001, 2002. And, a couple weeks ago I thought about it. There's been 10 different funny car champions over the past 18 years.
Crazy.
Absolutely. And to be part of two of those is is amazing. And I want to make history next year and be the next guy to do that. So that's what the goal is, right? Like I said, starting tomorrow night, that's what the goal is. And that's what we're going to work.
Wait. How about we start Tuesday morning?
Yeah, I mean, Tuesday morning is good, but...
Tuesday morning.
All right.
Tomorrow night, we'll celebrate this.
All right, sounds good. I'm good with that.
Michael, thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate you always coming to see me, and I'm proud to be part of, to be a friend, and to be part of the WFO radio.
All right. WFO from the Coletta Motorsports Party, here with...
Tanner Meyer.
And...
Juwan Smith.
And...
Tony Falcon Sousa.
All right. So this is and
Ayo.
Okay. So, championship. One. Lock it down. How do you feel?
Great. You know, we're looking to go back to back, you know, because it's what you got to do when you want to win a championship.
Already thinking back to back.
Oh, yeah, you know. You can't go out there and win one.
Is there any other way to think? Say something. Come on, AO.
There's no other way to think.
Wow, what a rush.
I love this. This is great. What is your responsibility on the car?
Shoulder heads and body.
Moral support.
That's pretty important stuff.
It is.
What is your responsibility?
Engineering of the team.
Engineering, general.
Rods and pistons, Merrimack City, actually.
Okay, were you guys nervous today?
Not at all.
No, come on now. I don't believe that.
Yes, a fucking lot.
Yeah.
Very nervous. Very fucking nervous.
You feeling like you woke up this morning like, oh, crap.
We need Isaac's answer to this. How nervous are you?
What about you? Nerves?
Oh, I couldn't sleep.
Right. That's a good night. Exactly. How much sleep did you get?
Probably about a couple hours. You know, you're thinking about you're thinking about Robert. You know, what he's going to do and what we can do.
Right, that's a good point in the terms of, like, respect for Robert and Jimmy. Like, over the top, like, oh, my God, that's who you guys beat. You guys realize that? That makes it, it's got to make it better.
Unreal. Fucking unreal. That is a world-class car, and we're a bunch of idiots putting this car together.
It's the Proc Rocket. I tell you right now, going to face the Proc Rocket, man. You know, I was thinking about this morning. I woke up, man. I thought I was gonna have to hurl in the toilet before we went to the track this morning. But you know, we just got it together and we made it happen. The Proc Rocket. We overcame the Proc Rocket.
You overcame the Proc Rocket.
Well, we all these guys, the yellow fellas, they got it done too. Going 88, 87.
Yeah,
unbelievable. The car reacted exactly how we wanted it to. It gave us a little trouble here and there, but we figured
reliable.
Okay, were you here in 2015?
I was not.
Were you here in 2015?
No, I came in 2016 at Indianapolis. It was the last year with Dell. I came in, and that was my first race with Indy.
We're products of Jim Oberhofer.
Yeah.
Jim O products.
Jano, Jimmo, both of them.
So this is your first championship?
Yes, sir.
We're world champions, one-time world champions.
One-time world champion and two-time Indy winner.
There you go. Now, like, obviously you guys appreciate what that means. Like, you guys are going to go down in drag racing history as a Mellow Yellow champion. That is not lost on you, which I think that is great. You guys love that.
It's amazing. It's out of this world, man. Never would I think I'd be here. It's freaking crazy.
And you got the Margarita here.
I'm telling everyone we live the dream, and it's great to live the experience right now. You know?
I want to tell you something about you. You've already a very serious character when you're out there on the starting line. Like, I'm like, dude, this dude is very serious about his act.
Yeah, we just try to give these guys the right information to get up there and tune their cars. So when we just want to make it right. That's what we do.
That is great. And so, like, you go into the banquet, right? You're going to hang out and enjoy it. So, like, describe for the listeners out there, you know, like, what's going on, like the party that's going on, because they can't see, they can only hear.
We got the baddest margarita mixer in the world right now. It has Blaine Johnson's injector, a KB Stage 6 block, some headers off an old Top Fuel Hydro World Champion boat, valve covers off of some old car. The nostalgia history going on in this pit right now is insane. I can't even describe it.
The biggest college party you ever experienced. France, girls, women, booze.
There are girls here. I can confirm that.
No, and this will be out later tonight.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Mardi Gras up in this thing.
We'll have to stay around.
And Dustin on the Mac Tools team. This is his last race.
Yeah.
He has informed us he's got the slicer out. He's got dragon meat for sale because we've been slaying dragons. $15.99 a pound.
Whoa!
Dragon slaying, baby!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, baby.
World champs, DHL, Toyota Camry.
DHL, world champs. Gentlemen, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you guys. Wix Filters, DHL, Toyota, all you guys. Redline Oil, Sealmaster.
You guys are good.
Electronic.
Yes.
Like the Radman would say, you fucking guys, you got it fucking right this time.
Fucking Radman. Thank you, Radman, most of all, because that's why we're comfortable.
Fucking Radman.
Blood of strong.
Blood of strong, baby. Woo! That's great.
Such a cool scene out there, watching everybody celebrate, knowing they've got really nothing to do the next day, and it's just going to be a big party. There's no going to be not testing. There's not anything. There's just celebrate and enjoy with their, fellow competitors and friends and the extended NHRA family. Great, great stuff. One of the cool things that happened this season was the Samtech Factory Stock Showdown. Leah Pritchett picking up the win there as champion, and Leah at the Lucas Oil Banquet and doing multiple dress changes out there at the award ceremony. I'm sure you can find those photographs out there on NHRA.com and the NHRA Facebook page. Great stuff. But really, samtech.edu making it all possible. And I can't help but think about, certain conversations I've had with Brian Massengill from Samtech and why they do what they do. And to me, it is one of the most noble of causes, educating the future, realizing that there are young people out there who love auto racing and aspire to work with their hands here in the United States of America, whether it be engine block, cylinder head, CNC machining, motorsport EFI, the Associate of Applied Science degree, that Samtech gives them a place to chase that dream and also helps them find a job afterwards or have many relationships within the industry that they can call upon and say, hey, I've got an A-plus student over here. I want you guys to help them out. And it usually happens. You can go to samtech.edu or give them a call, 713-683-3817. It's not too early to start thinking about New Year's resolution. What are you doing for 2019? Perfect opportunity for you to chase that dream. Go to samtech.edu. Start your education at full speed. They even have financial aid programs. They have got the GI Bill for those that apply or for those that are that it is available for. 713-683-3817. That is samtech.edu. Now, more Auto Club Raceway and the Auto Club Finals. Next up, the 2018 Mellow Yellow Pro Stock Motorcycle World Champion and the guy with the most 200-mile-per-hour runs, from what I know, Matt Smith. Matt, congratulations.
Thanks, Joe. Man, what a storybook weekend, from being my birthday to qualifying number one to winning the event to winning the championship. I mean, it just can't say enough about what we went through this weekend, and just had a fast motorcycle.
Yes, you did. And I wonder, were you managing the engine? You took a qualifying run off. You didn't go down the track a couple of times, and I was wondering, is he saving it? What was going on there?
Yeah, we were saving it. I mean, this was a brand new motor. We tested it at Vegas on Monday, and it ran really, really good. And we ran the first day. I kind of tore it apart, checked everything out. Everything looked good, and then we went out and ran one pass on Saturday and went, the 75 at 201. And I'm like, there's no reason to run it no more. I said, we'll save it for Sunday. And when the airline broke on us, first round, that was our gimme. That was our lucky round that we got. And we come back second round, and it broke the transmission going through the lights. And so my guys, we changed the transmission, and then we went up against in the semifinals against LE. And we won the race, but it hit the high side limiter probably 100 foot before the finish line. And it barely went 200. And I told everybody, so I'm turning the rev limiter off. We're going for it. We're going for the win. And we ran to more speed in the finals.
Winning a championship like this, you've won championships in the past, but I don't want to say they weren't as tough as they are now, but, the sport evolves and things get more challenging. And so to be able to come back now and win another championship, knowing that you had to do things like lean on Richard Freeman to get the bike. I remember talking to you guys on the starting line when that was going down, and you're like, no, man, this thing's going to be good. And he's like, I don't know, it better be. And you leaned on him, and it really all worked out.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt the body is better than what we had before. But we were running really good with the other body, too. We won races. We won the shootout. We won the big money shootout with the other body. And this body just made us more consistent. It made me ride more consistent. I can get tucked better. And all in all, it's just when we brought the new chassis and the new body out at the same time at Brainerd, it's just been a rocket ship since then. So we struggled a couple races with tune-up, but we still won those races, when we struggled. So we had the dominant bike all weekend long, and we showed it, and that's what we needed to have to win this championship.
You really did. You dominated. Eddie Krawick, last year's champ, great racer. You guys have indulged the crowd by being willing to talk smack back and forth. But I want you to talk about, as much as I love that Eddie's like, I'm coming for you, and you ended up beating him. You beat him in the pro bike battle as well. But, he's a Jersey smack talk guy. But to me, from what I can tell, and I want everybody to know, it seems like there's a great mutual respect.
Yeah, no, I mean, behind the scenes, we're all great friends. We work together. We support each other in this class to make our class better, But when you put the helmet on, you want to beat whoever's over there. That's just the name of the game. That's why we do this. And, Eddie's playing it up a little bit down there. And I told him to come on. I'm ready for him. I said, I'll be there when you get there. And he made the comment. He goes, I'm going to blow your candle out for your birthday today. And I'm like, so I just wanted to tell him that he didn't get the chance to blow the candle out because he didn't get close enough down there.
Wow. Now, how are you going to celebrate this?
Well, we've got to go take the motor apart for NHRA, and they going to bore and stroke it to be sure everything's legal and everything's fine, which I know everything is. But then we got to tear down, and then we're going to go partying. We're going to enjoy ourselves. If we don't enjoy ourselves a lot tonight, we're going to definitely do it tomorrow night at the banquet and after party, and just enjoy this because you don't get these all the time, and you never know when this is your last one, and you just enjoy it when you can.
You got a speech to write too.
My PR girl Sadie is writing a speech. And,
there you go, Sadie. Get on it.
And we're gonna just go with that.
There you go, Matt. Congratulations all year long. You've had a solid year. I love that you come on WFO whenever you win. I appreciate that. And you and Angie, just great people. I'm sure she was bummed that this morning that went down. But by the way, the way you guys handled that, I think that's the way you got to handle that. Yeah. I think that's the way you got to handle it. No one should be under the illusion that Angie is gonna end your championship.
Right.
Like, that's ridiculous to even think.
Yeah, I mean, and to make the crowd got into it with the big burnout that she did. If you remember last year, I did the same thing. I did the big burnout first round, and just to pump the crowd up. She goes, I never get to do a big burnout. So I'm like, you know what? Today's your day. Show me what you got. And
she did good.
She did a great job. So just happy for her. She finished 8th in points. That's the highest she's ever finished. And we're going to get her on one of them bodies next year and see if it helps her, and try to put 2 of these badass EBR bodies in the winner's circle more next year.
There you go, Matt. Congratulations. I'll see you at the banquet. Go, I'd say go celebrate, but go tear down.
Yep. Thank you. Thanks, Joe.
The NHRA Mellow Yellow Series champions have been crowned. And look who's walking over, Mr. All Access. You're on WFO right now.
WFO Radio? I love this show.
Yeah, just when we're done, I start working.
See that? I love it. That's dedication, Joe.
Thank you very much.
You're like I don't even know. I'm worn out.
Yeah, you're kind of slow today.
I'm slow.
Why
I'm
is
worn
that?
out. It was a busy night.
Let's not go there.
We had a Fox dinner that wore me out.
Yes,
that was a lot. There's a lot of energy in the room.
All right. Let's get some real perspective out of Mr. All Access. Okay, give me your perspective
on 2018.
Well, 2018 in general.
In general, yeah, man, it was great. I mean, I'm happy that J.R. Todd won his first World Championship. Tanner Gray won his first. Steve-O won his first.
Perfect.
I mean, yeah, he got a championship belt. That was pretty awesome.
Best thing going today.
Yeah, one. That was nice. Listen, if you want to go one-on-one with the great one, you got to step up. That's what happens. And then Matt Smith won his third, so that's awesome, man. It's pretty exciting. What's really cool about our job show is we get to be right up front and see everything.
Yeah, we really did. We got to be up front and center and had a good time, and that's what we try to do. Like, I try to bring everybody into that as best as I can.
It's cool. The best part, though, about 2018 is you and I got to room together.
That's true. I feel like our relationship has gotten
It
we've
blossomed.
gotten closer. We
It's
did.
strong. We've developed
Blossomed.
roots.
Yeah.
I mean, before this season, a strong wind probably could have broken our relationship up.
Totally.
But now, two Florida boys that know a thing or two about hurricanes and strong winds and strong foundations, Joe. That's what you and I have developed this season.
I think that's great. I think this is a perfect way for us to go to break now on
I like it.
WFO.
I like it. Hey, WFO listeners, what up?
There he is, Mr. All Access, Jason Logan, weighing in on the championships. Great stuff. So much fun out there. I'm sure you can tell the glow, the glory of victory, all of that stuff. And we have got more to come. We've got more on-location audio, plus my time at the tail end of the show, where we'll cover some of the stories and things that we'll be discussing during the off-season. One of the cool things that happened over the course of the year was Hussey Performance and Sean Bellemere going out there and winning the championship. Bellemere, the Bartone brothers, David Allen, Hussey Performance, doing copper head gaskets for that team, and they go out and win the World Championship in the Lucas Oil Top Alcohol ranks. Now, David Allen has told me that some of our listeners are on board with the copper head gaskets, and that's very, very cool and very exciting. But the fact is that next year is coming soon, and the folks at Hussey Performance stock gaskets in increments of 1/1000 of an inch, and if they don't stock it, they can custom make the gasket for any application. This allows racers to get the exact compression ratio that you're looking for. They're the most accurate on the market. They've got over 40 years in the business, so they know exactly how and where to purchase copper at the tightest tolerances. We're talking half a thou. And it won't take a long time, typically less than a week. So if you want to make it to the next race, they can help you. They have next day shipping also available. Call David, 724-318-8292, or go to husseyperformance.net. One more thing, everything made in America, including all their machines, which is huge. HusseyPerformance.net. David Allen, 724-318-8292. Time to stock up because 2019 is right around the corner. Now back out to Auto Club Raceway. Here with Amanda Busick from Fox Sports on WFO, our finals edition. All right, what I'm just saying to everyone is, like, what are your impressions of what you just witnessed?
Historical, mind blown. How do you repeat that? It was after the semis, we started talking, could this happen? When's the last time that the event winner has been a champion? And Todd Finney actually had a good answer for it. I think it was 1908, whatever it was, but it was only 3 classes. It wasn't 4 classes. So what we witnessed today was absolutely at a historical moment in our sport.
A lot of history. Steve Torrance, the belt will never be beaten, can only be tied. Yeah. Perfection in the countdown.
Yeah, man. I wanted to, if I had one more question with Steve at the top end, I was going to ask him, is this the start of a Capco dynasty? Who stopped Steve Torrance in 2019?
I don't know. I think the only people that can stop him right now are them. So we'll see. Amanda, great occupying the same space with you down there on the top end. It was good. Thank you for spending a little time with us.
Have a great holidays, Joe.
All right, our next WFO radio listener, Santino Blanco. What do you think? Give me the first thing after what you just witnessed.
370 to end top fuel for the year. Can't get better than that. And on the whole shot, too, what is Steve Keller? 29 light and top fuel was just unheard of. And they're just excited to get back here in February.
Yes, that is great stuff. The perfect countdown.
The perfect countdown.
Perfect countdown.
Like, you got, Snake did what he did back in the 70s. Glennon did what he did. But, for how competitive this game is right now, to do that is just incredible. And, there were 60s out there. Hey, buddy, how are you? There were 60s out there, and, man, these guys are just getting tighter and tighter.
Santino, thank you so much.
You got it, Joe.
Thank you for listening.
Absolutely, always.
All right. Look at this guy. Let's smile. Take one more, Scott Thomas. Look at this.
Former champion Ron Capps could have
All right, we're going to talk to Scott Thomas now. Wearing his WFO shirt. What's up, buddy? What'd you think?
Not too much. Steve Torrance sweeping the championship. Unbelievable.
We had that first on WFO. I think I'm the first person to bring that possibility up.
Unbelievable. Tanner Gray, dominant. J.R. Todd, I think, is probably the biggest surprise. I thought Courtney had it in the bag going in, and really shocked she didn't pull it off. But what a countdown, what a race. And Matt Smith, that was awesome. Final round, final race. What can you say?
What can you say? There you go.
Now,
fellas.
We're here with WFO radio listener
That's
Sharon.
right. Always hot boy
And Walt's
Joe.
here too. What's up, Walt?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
No, we're doing
What's
the show now.
going on?
All right. So, give me your impression of what you just witnessed. What do
I
you
witnessed
think?
Matt lose. I mean, not lose, his car break.
Yeah.
And then I wanted Eddie Krawick to win.
You were against Matt.
Huh?
You wanted Eddie to win.
Yeah, I was against Matt. Ooh, my people. I was against Matt, yeah. But,
All right. That's
okay,
all right.
But anyway, Eddie Krawick.
Came up a little short.
Hot boy Joe. Hot boy Joe.
Oh my gosh. What about you, Walt? Get over here, Walt. What do you think?
You're the best
Torrance
looking
goes
one
for-
in
I was
the
happy Matt
NHRA
Smith won.
Racer.
I was happy Matt Smith won.
Yeah.
Big race. Big
race.
event.
I enjoyed every minute of
To
it.
the end, I thought that Hector was going to be there.
Yeah.
I just knew Hector Jr. was going to be in the running. And I'm so happy for J.R. Todd. His parents are so lovely.
They are.
I've
They're
been following them since IHRA. Back then, when he was really young, but I'm happy. Anyway, I'm happy to see you. I'm happy to see Joe Costello.
There it is. That's right, WFO. I got fans out here, baby.
Okay,
I got fans.
Definitely. Y'all need
Who that?
Who
New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints.
Exactly.
Sharon and Walt, two great NHRA fans. Obviously, Walt is a fan of the Saints as well, down there from Louisiana area, which is very, very cool. We had so many people out there come out to the Auto Club finals just to witness it. And that is one of the things. Sharon, she's been on WFO Ignition in the past, and just some of our great listeners now. Now you're getting into like people that were at the the Winter Circle celebration that morphed into the after party, and it was just great, great stuff, great times out there at Auto Club Raceway, and just so many cool things. But I got to tell you, in the Winter Circle, I'm looking down at the front brakes, looking for those aerospace components brakes, and I was seeing a lot of them in the Lucas Oil ranks throughout the weekend. Shifters, vacuum pumps, anything made of billet, aerospace component gets the job done. 727-347-9915, aerospacecomponents.com. Their titanium wave brake rotor can save you about 2.5 pounds off their previous. They've been doing it for over 30 years. State-of-the-art CNC machining centers, inspection equipment in Florida, aerospacecomponents.com. Go to the website, check out Kim Cussey's show, Kimmy's Garage, learn about the products, all kinds of great stuff out there at aerospacecomponents.com. If you got a race car, a street rod, a cool car that you just want to make even better, you got to get on board with aerospacecomponents.com. Back out to Auto Club Raceway. All right, everybody, if you did not hear your favorite driver, like a Tanner Gray or a J.R. Todd, do not worry. We will catch up with them in the future. But right now, everybody is partying and going crazy and having a great time, and I do not want to interrupt that. And so you understand, WFO, what's that?
Where's your hat?
I'm not wearing a hat. I never wear hats.
You don't want one?
No, I'm good. I'm not a hat guy. I don't wear a hat. I'm not wearing, no, I'm not. And look, we got Kenny Youngblood. Kenny, how are you? I'm recording podcast stuff. Do you know Sharon?
Yes,
I just met Sharon. What a great gal. She's a huge fan.
Okay.
She just comes out
She's
here.
a huge fan.
Huge fan of NHRA drag racing, man.
Yes,
And
yes.
she lives back there in, well, NASCAR country, but
Yeah.
she's never been to those races. She
They go
just likes
around.
this stuff.
She's a hardcore drag racer. Of course, you're hearing the
Absolutely.
voice of Kenny Youngblood, renowned NASCAR, not NASCAR, NHRA
Well, that
artist.
too.
You've done both, huh?
You know, I just tell
Wherever
her,
they-
I mean, little known fact, we did Dale Earnhardt's Wrangler Monte Carlo paint scheme. Actually designed the backslash number 3 that became his.
Wow.
Yeah, somebody had to do it.
Very interesting.
But,
Very interesting. This is
yeah.
pretty cool, right? Like, Coletta, another win.
Oh my God! To me, everybody that I wanted to win won this weekend. All the competitors are great, but really was hoping JR would pull this off, and of course Steve put a
perfect countdown.
Put the deal on there, So what a great weekend! Perfect weather. And great racing. I mean, that Top Fuel final. I mean,
Wow.
you could never find a closer race, Joe. It was amazing.
And you have already, you're going to come back on the show in the future. We've already
I sure
decided
hope
that.
so.
Yes.
I sure hope so. We can
Excellent.
talk about whatever you want, man.
Awesome, awesome. There it is. All right, and that's the point. So you didn't get to hear Steve, you didn't get to hear J.R. Todd or Tanner Gray, but you got to hear Sharon and Kenny Youngblood. There you go. Kenny Youngblood, renowned NHRA artist, and of course, one of our big listeners and huge NHRA fan, Sharon, who is out there. And there you have it. There you have it, the on-location audio. And it started off started off pure celebration. It descended into chaos and then came back. It was good stuff. And I appreciate everybody that wants to talk to me out there at those things. And it just, here it is again. More people should hang out for the winner's circle at every event. But if too many hang out for the winner's circle, it'll ruin it. So I'm letting the WFO people know that you guys need to get out there. You need to hang out because fun stuff happens after the winner's circle celebration. Great stuff, especially at the Auto Club final. All right, we're going to do My Time after a quick break. Right now, I want to tell you about Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School and the Dragster Adventure. Here's the deal. Holidays are coming, right? Perfect time to let your loved one or best client or best employee know you love them because they have done a great job for you by sending them to something they'll remember for a lifetime. And we're talking about the Dragster Adventure. 866-480-7223. Go to the website, frankhawley.com. Check it out. You can get them a gift certificate and present it for the holidays. And then they decide when and where they want to go in 2019. But they're going to Norwalk, and they're going to Reading, and they're going to Fontana, and they're going to Baytown, they're going to Woodburn, they're going to Joliet, they're going to Fontana, California, they're going to Gainesville, Florida. And that is just the list of the moment. So go to the website, frankhawley.com, or give them a call, 866-480-7223. Tell them you heard about it on WFO Radio. You want to go on the Dragster Adventure, or even better, you want to send somebody on the Dragster Adventure, 130 in the quarter mile, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, and you do it all. It's not a ride-along. It's a drive, and you are the person behind the wheel, or the person you send. It is the Dragster Adventure. Courses start at $399, but it is so worth it. You get a half-track and 2 full-track passes. You get to interact with Frank Hawley throughout the day. He will get you up to speed driving a dragster, and for my money, I think it would be the best first step in a very cool experience for someone that is a speed junkie, adrenaline junkie, or otherwise. 866-480-7223 for Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School at frankhawley.com, the Dragster Adventure. When we come back, it will be My Time on WFO.
Everybody, listen carefully.
Now you listen to me. Why do you listen? WFO, you guys are number one.
Honest. Listen.
Hey everybody, this is Joe Costello. When I'm at the racetrack, I am always checking out the cars to see what's hot, what's cool, what is the nicest and best and most effective piece out there. And what I am finding is that the folks at Aerospace Components have got it going on. They've been in business for over 30 years. Everything is made in America, and they are family-owned and operated. Aerospace Components is a name known throughout the racing industry as one of the leaders in manufacturing high-performance drag racing products. And if you go to their website right now, Aerospace Components, you can check out exactly what I'm talking about. Check it out. That's aerospacecomponents.com. Let them know you heard it on WFO.
WFO Radio is brought to you in part by Extreme Velocity 3 Drag Racing. Download for your mobile device. Win your way on the show. WFO.
CatSpotLitter.com. Got to check them out. And, of course, think about getting a cat. There's so many little kitties out there that need a home. They need a home. But it's the litter. No, now you've got CatSpotLitter.com. So check it out. Cat Spot Litter, new supporter of WFO Radio.
This is Jeff Rice, a.k.a. Deep and Hot. I just want to let you know that NHRA Nitro is probably the best coverage of NHRA drag racing, period. How can you not like a 3.5-hour broadcast with all the winners specifically for drag racing? WFO rules the airwaves.
Now, back to WFO Radio, NHRA Nitro.
Final segment, NHRA Nitro podcast. If you are a listener for a long time and you have not written a review yet, we would love for you to do that. It's very helpful. Apple Podcast or wherever you get your podcast. You got to write a review. You got to sign in. You got to write a review for the app. App has been great. That was a big 2018 initiative, and it stepped in the right direction, right? The app. Everybody loving the app. Download the app, get the app, write us a review. There you go. And you guys are helping the show big time by writing a review, but also by checking out our great sponsors. Throughout the show, you've been hearing about many of them. Audible.com/WFO Nitro is a big one as well. Start your 30-day free trial. Audible.com/WFO Nitro for your listening pleasure. Now, we will continue doing these shows through the winter break and have a lot to say as we're going to catch up with all of our champions. All the Mellow Yellow champions. You'll hear J.R. Todd. You'll hear Steve Torrance. You'll hear Matt Smith. You'll hear Tanner Gray. You'll hear all of them throughout the offseason. But not only that, but our Lucas Oil World champions, guys like Justin Lamb and Ronnie Proctor. You're going to hear all of those guys as well. Joey Severance, you're going to hear Sean Bellemere again. Sean has been co-hosting the show here in 2018. He's been winning so much. But we're going to do a debrief after it sinks in. And that's what I want to get to right now. The final thoughts of the 2018 season while they are fresh in my mind. And there will be many that we will dive into and dig deeper. For instance, Bill Litton, crowned the Auto Club Road to the Future Award winner, a.k.a. Rookie of the Year. And a lot of us were thinking that Flying Rylan Ayler in Pro Stock Motorcycle was going to be the guy. But Bill Litton was able to squeak out a couple of big round wins in Top Fuel. And there's something about Nitro. And so he picks up the win. But I do want to mention Flying Ryan as somebody that many people were discussing as deserving of the award. Because they started a team, they went out there, they went from not qualifying to occasionally qualifying to qualifying. They invested. They bought the Pro Stock Motorcycle body, the new EBR. Huge investment. And to me, they're going to be out there for a while. But Bill Litton is going to be as well. Litton did a great job with his speech, the speeches, and the banquet, the award ceremony. I had a great time. In fact, right now I'm looking at a photograph of the champions, Matt Smith, Tanner Gray, J.R. Todd, Steve Torrance. And this is what I want to say to everybody that listens to this show on a regular basis. You know, you heard the Yellow Fellas, and they're partying, and there's fun going on. And in the sport of NHRA drag racing, there are many challenges. The 1 step forward, 2 steps back, or 2 steps forward, 1 step back, however you want to do it, where we fix a problem and then there's another problem. All of that. What do the people who are fans generally think? There's that. There's a lot of stuff. You might be wondering to yourself, well, what is the state of the sport? Is it good? Is it bad? Look at the photograph of the champions. And yeah, one of them, Tanner Gray, is going on to a NASCAR career. Okay. But everybody is a character. Nobody is a corporate face. Not one of them will hold back what they think. Not one of them would say the corporate sponsor politically correct thing that you hate when drivers say. None of them. And when you think about NHRA drag racing and Mellow Yellow drag racing in particular, you have gotten everything that you have asked for in the last 10 years. For so many years, people said, oh, the drivers, they don't give us the real deal, and they just, the face of corporate America, and we don't like it. Well, for the first time in 26 years, John Force Racing and Don Schumacher Racing are not part of the Nitro Championship, one or the other. A stat that we came up with a couple of weeks ago, and everyone was buzzing about this past weekend. How can that be? Wow, it's amazing. It's been a long time, etc. You heard Dom Lagana talk about it a little bit earlier. J.R. Todd, not the kind of guy who's going to sugarcoat anything that he thinks. And Steve Torrance, not going to sugarcoat anything he thinks. Tanner Gray, he is leaving, but similar situation, a straight shooter. And Matt Smith, smack talker, straight shooter. This is what you wanted, right? Are you not entertained? Now, there will be somebody out there on the message boards somehow finding a way to make this a negative. Find that person. Push back. This was a great season, a highly successful season for many, many reasons. But I can't help but think about the Yellow Fellas and the young kids that we interviewed a little bit earlier. They were, wild partying, Juwan, Smith, those guys. Tony fucking Souza. Tanner Meyer. Taylor Meyer. AO. That is the future of the sport. These are young kids. They're putting themselves into the heat of the kitchen, baby. They're putting themselves into the heat of the fire to go out there and battle and become champions. Why are they doing it? This sport is healthy. This sport is populated by cool people. Slugger Labby out there having a great time. Here's a guy who's celebrated at the pinnacle of NASCAR, and he is getting to witness a championship celebration in the NHRA, and it is exactly what you would want it to be. The belt of perfection. The belt. What a great idea. Someone in the office in the NHRA, and I tried to pin down a couple people. I think it was Cody. But whoever came up with the idea of the belt, that was a fantastic idea. Now there is something to go along with the accomplishment. And they got to carry that belt, man. They got to carry it. They got to hold it. They got to get a hype guy to carry the belt over their heads. There's got to be a guy in the background that carries the belt wherever Steve goes, part of the entourage. We've got to show these guys what's up. Got to carry the belt. That belt is not meant to be in a box. Steve was wearing it. That's cool. The belt of perfection. And that brings me to my final thought, which is this. Steve Torrance and the Capco team's unprecedented sweep of the playoffs. For my money, I can make a competitive and competent argument that, number one, it is the greatest single team accomplishment in drag racing history. Yes, we could go back to John Force when he finished the season before the season was over with 5 races to go. Yes, of course. But that was a pressure-less accomplishment. They blew everybody out of the water, and there was never a moment where they felt this intensity of pressure they had to perform. They just dominated. It was a totally different era. There were not nearly as many cars that were as good as they were. The rules were still pretty much wide open. You could do a lot of innovation and have parts and pieces that other people didn't have. So who knows what they were doing, why they were able to dominate so much. They know. Not to take anything away, but this team, in an era that is generally considered the most competitive we've ever seen, when everybody had to be at their best, over the course of 6 races, won every single round. I think it's a no-brainer. 300 miles per hour, Kenny Bernstein. Well, that was one race, one day, one milestone. Yes, they broke it. Great stuff. The team broke a milestone. Fantastic. They did it. This team performed up against the wall, back against the wall, for 6 straight races. And they won every round. But here's how I know. I've been going through my, goodbyes with everybody that I interact with on a regular basis out at the award ceremony and party afterwards. And I asked everybody, hey, what do you think? Perfect countdown. And longtime crew members that have won many championships and had great success are blown away by the accomplishment. Perfection. Not only is it the greatest single accomplishment by a team in drag racing, maybe you could dig down deeper. I'm willing to listen. Joe at WFOradio.com, what do you think? Where does this rate? Where does it rank? It's right near the top. It's got to be one of the greatest things that have ever happened. Tony Schumacher's team winning 15 races or whatever they did. He was on our show many, many, many times back in the satellite days. Schumacher was on left and right. That was a great accomplishment. But it wasn't perfection. It was just a big number, a great year. Most wins by a single team. That's huge. This is special. They were unbeaten in the playoffs. And I've said it many times, the Miami Dolphins are pretty much the bar for what that perfection is. We now know that they have been able to continue to be something special because of that, because no one has duplicated it. Now, maybe next year someone else will come out there and sweep the countdown, and it'll be like, all right, this is happening all the time, like the Triple Crown. This has become a normal thing now. The Triple Crown, everybody wins it every year. It's the same thing over and over again. We're tired of it. I doubt that's going to happen. But you never know. We'll just have to wait and see how it stands up to the test of time. But they did a great job. And outside of drag racing, to me, the story of the year has been Haas F1 getting up there and competing. But this is it. This is the motorsports story of the year. This is it. Inside the NHRA, outside the NHRA. This is the story. Lewis Hamilton winning another championship and another constructors for Mercedes. Yes, that's great. Lewis, one of the greatest of all time, of course. But not really anything special or out of the ordinary about that. At the start of the season, we were going to handicap it, and chances are Lewis Hamilton was going to be the favorite. Had a little bit of a battle with Sebastian Vettel and Ferrari, but really cast them by the wayside very, very rapidly. They cast themselves by the wayside if you watch Formula One. A lot of mistakes and incompetence. That's the kind of stuff you hear on the Ignition Show, by the way, NHRA/Formula One fans. In IndyCar, Scott Dixon, yes, okay, great stuff. The Indy 500 winner. Who won the Indy 500? Name it, go. Will Power and Team Penske win. So there's always an Indy 500 winner. And yeah, Will Power was able to break through. That's great. That is not even remotely close to the size and scope of the accomplishment. Now, maybe drag racing doesn't quite have the media megaphone and the spotlight, but it should. This is one where a guy like Steve Torrence should be on with the Dave Letterman equivalent. Should go on talk shows, should be out there in the media, should be out there talking about his incredible accomplishment. How did this happen? This is something special. NASCAR. You got the season finale this weekend at Homestead Miami Speedway. You got the big three plus Joey Logano contending for a championship. So one of those big three is going to get their second world championships. It will be either Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex, or Joey Logano winning his first championship. Okay, is anything special about that story other than it is a great story for whoever wins? The answer is no. Nothing unique, nothing special, nothing historic. A champion is crowned every single year. Someone will win their second. It will have been a good year. What happened in the NHRA with Steve Torrence, a family-owned team, going into a field of corporate-owned mega teams and beating them, that's the story of the year. And every drag racer and every drag racing fan should know that. It was amazing. And congratulations to Matt Smith, and congratulations to J.R. Todd. They did great any other year. How do they compete in 23 out of 24 rounds? Unbelievable. But it was Steve Torrence and the Capco team that transcended the sport of drag racing with this accomplishment. They should have. They should. We'll see how it is picked up by the media and who out there in the regular mainstream motorsports media and regular media is interested in talking about this accomplishment. How do you win 24 rounds in the playoffs and finish unbeaten? That's something that everyone should be thinking about. And there you go. All right. That's going to do it for this edition of WFO NHRA Nitro. You waited a little bit extra. There is a reason. I had to go back and just listen to all the on-location audio just to make sure everything was perfect. I wanted to make sure you guys had the great experience and a whole lot of fun. Big thanks to Alan Reinhart. We were able to catch up. Big thanks to everybody who spoke to me in the winner's circle. Had a whole lot of fun at the awards banquet. So many great guests, too numerous to name. But if you did not hear someone you wanted to hear, you got to click subscribe because we will be catching up with them in the next few weeks. All right, everybody, that's going to do it. Ignition will be happening this week as well. Ignition. Yeah, you're going to be getting this Thursday afternoon. And then Ignition will be coming. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, baby, I'm out at Homestead Miami Speedway. Probably for the final time because the NHRA season finale will be on top of the NASCAR season finale in the years to come, which is something that I'm very bummed out about. But it is what it is. And I plan to go out there and party like it's 1999 in our fan zone at Homestead Miami Speedway over the course of the next couple of days. But stay tuned for Ignition. It will be in the archive. But that's going to do it. We'll see you next time right here on WFO Radio.
WFO!
The views and opinions of the hosts, guests, or callers do not necessarily reflect that of the station ownership, advertisers, or agencies.
I love WFO Radio.